Let's talk about the Warcraft alpha, okay? And did you get in the alpha? Let's see, did I get into the alpha? It looks like I haven't been, or maybe I need to restart my BattleNet, but no, I'm not into the alpha right now. They might not have given it to me yet. I have no idea. I'll be surprised if they don't give it to me, but you know, what happens, happens. Alpha testing for World of Warcraft Dragonflight is rumored to begin this Thursday on July 14th. I really hope so, to be honest. I really, really fucking hope so. I think that every day that the beta isn't out, that increases my anxiety for if the game is going to be good or not. Because I don't know. Fuck, man. I have no idea. Yeah, I don't know. Like, maybe this is going to happen. Why give it to him? Yeah, just ask to death. I mean, if it comes out, what I'm worried about is this. I'm worried about it coming out, there being one playable zone, and there being, you know, like a stick figure written on, like, the side of a rock, and it says Alex Straza here with a, you know, a little arrow. That's what I'm concerned, man. Yeah, that's what I'm really fucking concerned about. I don't know. Talent trees look interesting, at least. No, I'm waiting till they have the warrior talent tree. Whenever they have that, I'll be happy. No, I have no idea. Will I be worried and just go play another game if it sucks? Well, I still want it to be good, right? I mean, I've played WoW for over 15 years now. I want WoW to be good. Like, I have a vested interest in WoW being good. I love the game. And so I would hate to see the game come out and it be a bad product and have it be like half-baked and then have people further be frustrated and disappointed in the game. I think this is what's happened for years now and it sucks. So yeah, 100% I'm stressed out about it. I mean, is it a big deal? No. I mean, if it doesn't come out and it's bad, then that's life. But I still would be unhappy about that. I wish people would just move on. But why? Why can't people be hopeful about something that they want to enjoy? The game hasn't been good for 7+ years. Can be hopeful, just don't be disappointed if this shit happens. I am hopeful. I am absolutely hopeful. And let's see here. Blizzard's Dragonflight preview and Ion Professions. Okay, I haven't looked at this at all. And so I'm going to go through some of the... Holy shit, this is a lot. Oh my god. They put all of this out? Blizzard released a Dragonflight Profession preview going over crafting orders, profession specs, and quality. Oh my god. With Dragonflight in full swing, we'll get to see the chance to upload new updated profession system. The system's been designed to provide greater depth and engagement, allowing you, the crafters of Azeroth, to differentiate yourselves and stand out from your peers. You can have crafting orders, profession specializations, and crafting and gathering with quality. Holy shit. Crafting orders are a new way for you to place an order on almost any Dragon Isles crafting recipe using an auction house-like interface. The new system will be provided nearly free of charge by representatives of Artisans Consortium. That's nice. When placing an order, there are 3 options that you can set to fulfill it. Fulfill to anyone, guild members only, or a specific individual. Okay, so it's basically... I'm assuming that they have things like this because there's going to be materials that are BOP. So, like, you need to have people that use their BOP materials in order for you to actually craft with them, right? I think that's effectively what it is. Yeah, that's probably what's going to happen, but I'm not sure. You already see the posting fee on the picture? Yeah, I see it right there. And let's see. Let me go back over here and look at the other stuff, too. You'll also be able to customize the order further by including various optional reagents depending on the recipe, dictating exactly what you want to be crafted. So I think this is, yeah, similar to Missives and Shadowlands. I feel like one thing that New World did pretty well is crafting, and I think that this system does seem like it's taking a pretty good amount from New World. Once you're finished customizing the order, you'll decide on an offered commission for the crafter, pay a small posting fee, and then send it off. Okay, that makes sense. Crafters can view these orders, fill in any missing reagents, and then craft the item. Okay. Profession specializations will allow you to specialize in your primary crafting and gathering profession once you've reached a high enough skill. You'll earn profession points through various activities and get to spend them permanently to improve different areas of your profession. So, like, what this reminds me of is it reminds me of the fishing rod in Legion. Do you remember that whenever you would fish with the fishing rod and then you'd get enough fish and you could, like, get different traits for your rod, so you could, like, swim really fast or, like, walk on water or, like, get a better chance to, like, fish up an entire pool in one cast? And I actually thought the fishing rod in Legion was really cool. So I'm glad that they're trying to do this more. Yeah, the Underlight Angler, that's what it's called, I think. This will be one of the main ways you can differentiate yourself from your peers. There'll be many areas of each profession to specialize in. More to come in this feature a bit later. I'm curious to see whether it's going to be like you can get all of them if you take a long time, like New World, or it's like WoW, how it is now, and you can only have like one profession specialization. You guys remember back in like in like BFA, or not BFA, sorry, BC, whenever you'd have like armor crafting and like weaponsmithing, etc. That's kind of what it's going to be. I'm not sure which one it's going to be. New to World of Warcraft is concept of quality crafting, both for crafted items and many gathered reagents. This is not to be confused with rarity, which will remain unchanged. Crafted equipment will have 5 levels of possible quality, while many other crafted and gathered items such as potions and ores will have 3 levels of quality. For crafted equipment, quality will primarily mod item level, with each level of quality increasing it by a small amount. So it might have 270, 272 at the different quality levels. The goal is to have quality matter enough for it to be worth it your effort to achieve higher qualities without having all the gains be so large that the lowest quality versions don't feel worthwhile. Well, can you determine, yeah, is this honing? Like, what is this? For crafted items such as consumables that have quality, the effects of quality are a bit more varied. For most, the higher quality will result in a more powerful effect, but in some cases, it might come in other forms of variation, such as longer duration, more charges, etc. Note that there is an expectation that low-quality versions of these items will sell for less, but this will provide a niche for those that don't want to spend a lot of gold and will be able to make use of the full suite of crafted items. It will also be cheaper to craft lower-quality versions of these items for a variety of reasons. For reagents that have quality, increases the inspiration. Oh, for reagent, the quality value will serve as a major input into the crafting. Crafting with higher quality basic reagents will provide bonus skill when crafting the item. Finishing reagents are a new type of reagent that can be used to improve aspects of the crafting process. Increasing skill or increasing stats, for example, higher quality versions of these will have stronger effects on crafting. I don't have a problem with the quality stuff. Okay, all right, here we go. Determining quality. Lastly, please note that not all gathered reagents will have quality. The primary gathering professions of mining will have quality, as well as reagents. Other reagents, such as meat, cloth, and fish, will not. When crafting an item, there are 2 main elements of note. The recipe difficulty, how hard it is to craft a recipe at a higher quality. Recipe difficulty will change whenever you include optional reagents, which can modify it up or down depending on the effects. Your crafting skill is determined by your base skill and professions, but can be modified by a variety of factors. So, like, as you craft your item, there is a small amount of randomness added to your skill roll to represent the natural variation in your crafting execution. In addition, if you have any inspiration, the new crafting stat, you have a chance to become inspired, gaining a significant amount of bonus skill during the craft. It means you may do better than you expected, but never worse. In the end, your final crafting skill will be compared against the recipe quality. If that skill is higher than the difficulty, you will craft the weapon at the item at maximum quality. Otherwise, the quality will depend on where your skill falls comparatively. What do you guys think about this? Yeah, how do you guys feel about this this whole situation here? It's RNG. It is certainly kind of RNG. It depends on like what the chances are. Like, can you deterministically craft the best gear after you've done it enough time? Like, I think that like rolling quality for like a Lost Ark item kind of sucks. Like, in general, doing these like random rolls to get items kind of sucks in just a general sense. Is this how jewel crafting worked in Kata and Mop? I don't remember, to be honest with you. Additional crafting stats, to use fewer reagents, inspiration, crafting the recipe with extra skill, and you'll get lucky on some bonus quality. Okay, so you want to have inspiration for crafting the good stuff. Multi-craft to craft additional items. That's cool. I know this is like, I remember, like, there was one time my mom procced 5 primal mites with one transmute because she was a transmute master. Like, she still remembered that shit for like 10 years later. Still remembered that. That was a big fucking deal. And crafting speed, for those who mass crafts are faster, you just want to save a few seconds. Crafting speed's a stat to help you craft a little bit faster. Who cares? Quality philosophy. Okay, this is really what we need to know about. Many players will want to craft the best of the best and settle for nothing less. With that in mind, we want to share a bit of our philosophy for quality and difficulty tuning for recipes. This is what matters right here. For many early and lower tier recipes, such as leveling gear, starter potions, etc., your general crafting skill might be low enough that you tend to craft the item at the lowest quality. These recipes aren't meant to be difficult though, and gaining a higher skill in your profession will make these recipes easier to make at max quality, even with low quality reagents. On the other hand, many of the recipes for the high-end items, particularly gear with powerful optional reagents and top-tier consumables, will be extremely difficult to craft at the highest quality. In fact, the goal in these situations is that only the best of the best can make them at the highest quality, and only by using every tool at your disposal, which means in practice that if you wanted to craft the most difficult recipe at max quality, for example, a chest with an item level equivalent to mythic raids, yes, that will be possible. You will likely need to fully specialize in crafting that type of gear, use all top quality reagents, and use the best profession gear that you can find. That's fine. I think that's totally okay. Does anybody have a problem with that? Because the only thing, on top of that, you would either need to get lucky with inspiration or use valuable finishing reagent that boosts skill to guarantee the item is crafted at top quality. They will take the contribution of many skilled crafters and gatherers, as well as some luck from extra resources to make these items the best and highest quality. The goal here is to make sure crafting the best of the best, or having it crafted for you, will be no small feat and one to be proud of. We also want to emphasize you will never need to rely on luck. Luck can be much help to you if you want to focus on inspiration, but it's never necessary. That's really good. Like, so this is the way that I think it's going to work, right? And so let's assume that we have like the crafting bar, okay? So this is the crafting bar. And we're just going to use, let's see here. I don't know why it always defaults to the really big font. Let's see. 500 eye level. And this is going to be 600 eye level, okay? And so we're just going to look at New World, for example. So we're going to go ahead and make a few of these. Okay. So basically, you're going to have like your base quality. And let's see here. I'm just going to put in some different colors so people can get an idea of like what all this is. Okay, so right here, this is base variance. 1 second, let me make this black. Base variance. Base variance. Okay, good. And after that, we've got the... yeah, I got it. I just fucked up for a second. My brain got... it got jumbled up. You got base variance, and then what are the other options here again? Let's go ahead and double check here. Specialization. Actually, crafting reagents. Reagents used. And then crafting skill. And then we have finishing reagents. And then we have gear. Crafting, so that was me, not you. Crafting gear. So if you have all 5 of these, you will get to 600 eye level every time. I actually think this is a good system. Is there anybody who thinks this is a problem? Yeah, I think this is a good idea. Because then one time, yeah, this is fantastic. Yeah, this is perfect. Yeah, I love this. So basically in like New World, it's like the difference whenever you're crafting with like Ori Chalcum or crafting with Asmodium, for example. So like Ori Chalcum is like, it's like in classic WoW, like think of Ori Chalcum as like thorium, and then think of Asmodium as Arcanite bars. So if you're crafting with Arcanite bars, you're gonna have a much higher base item level. But if you get enough of those bonuses together, you're going to have a extremely high crafting chance. Because I think the main thing that a lot of people were worried about whenever I first started this, and correct me if I'm wrong, we were worried that quality meant honing. We were worried that crafting meant honing. Am I right about that? Like, that's what my concern was. Yeah, a good system, exactly. Dragonflight's good. Do you think it'd be a good time for someone to come back? Yeah, it's always a good time. Like, the pre-patch is probably the best time to come back and play the game. That's always been my opinion, is that during the pre-patch, that's whenever things are really popping off. Everybody's having fun. People are playing the game, enjoying themselves, and that's what I enjoy the most. So yeah, you can buy mythic level gear. That's okay. So like, if you can buy, here's the thing. You can already buy mythic level gear. You just buy a boost. That's it. You just buy a fucking boost. So is it a good idea for Blizzard to make the game worse because of some arbitrary, oh, but you can buy mythic gear? You could already do that. That's it, man. Did you watch the Bellier video yet? No, I will watch it after this, okay? I will watch it after this. Some reagents are BOP, so you can't buy mythic gear. My understanding would be that they're BOP to the crafter and not the person requesting the craft. Isn't that right? I don't know. I guess we're going to have to see. Yeah, it's for the person. It's both. It could be both, actually. You know, like that would actually be really cool if it was both. And so let's read the rest of this, okay? We also hope this means that crafting the very highest quality items turns out to be very lucrative while also being something that a large guild could coordinate and do on their own. Phenomenal. Please note that the goal was not to have high-end gear cost anything remotely approaching the cost of top legendaries and Shadowlands. In general, we don't expect the base reagents to be nearly as expensive, and most of the effort to become highly specialized will be through play, not spending gold. Even if for a time, the only players that can make the best items to the highest qualities, getting an item crafted at lower quality will be much more attainable. Lower quality items will only be slightly less powerful in contrast to tiers of Shadowlands legendaries. Finally, you'll be able to get lower quality equipment recrafted to higher quality later on by a more skilled crafter for minimal reagents. That's cool. Profession skilling philosophy. Okay. This is like the philosophy on it is what really matters. Like what's actually in game doesn't really make a difference because that's going to change. Give me a second. Not only spending gold, but it didn't say not spending money. Yeah, of course you're going to have to spend gold. That's common sense. It's a fucking fantasy video game. You're going to spend gold in crafting items. That's the way it goes. The problem is not that this system exists. All of the problems that people have with this are entirely built around the WoW token. Because nobody ever complained back in Burning Crusade that somebody who farmed a lot of gold was able to buy a fucking BOE. Nobody gives a shit about that. People care whenever somebody's able to spend real money, buy WoW tokens, pay a guild to carry them through a raid, and then they have all the mythic gear. That's what people have a problem with, not this other stuff. Let me see this again. And but instead, Dragonflight, you'll skill to your profession similar in a way that you have in the past. There'll be one main difference, though, for primary crafting professions. Instead of needing to max your skill to learn all the recipes, you will only need to max a skill about halfway. The intent is you won't feel the need to rush your max out your profession skill, but instead you can slow down halfway, content in knowing you can learn any recipe you get your hands on. It should also mean that whenever you're filling crafting orders, that you continue to gain skill. Okay, that's smart. Finally, it should mean that fewer items will be made just to skill up. That's smart. Yeah, having like 1 million of the, remember like those little fucking cataclysm trinkets, those like the fucking ghost iron dragonling or some shit, and you would see 1 million of these on the auction house and nobody would ever buy them. This is also true because much of the latter half of your profession skill will be earned through crafting high-end items that require specially earned soulbound reagents. Since it's an individual crafter, you cannot earn enough on your own gear to max out your profession. You will often need to fill orders to maximize your profession skill. Wow. A few Dragonflight specific crafting details. Okay. Up to 5 of these crafting pieces can be equipped at once, with a two-handed weapons counting as 2. Okay. So you can have effectively 4 or 5 if you're using a weapon or not. All of them can start in an itemable range in your normal raids, increasing with quality through earned optional reagents that can be brought up through heroic and even mythic item levels, making them competitive with the best gear that you can find. All are soulbound, so you need to craft them yourself or have someone craft them for you through a crafting order. Each piece of crafted equipment will require several types of soulbound reagents you need to earn to craft it. One type of reagent will come from various challenging activities, including dungeons, raids, and PvP, adventuring in some dangerous outdoor areas. I can't imagine a dangerous outdoor area in WoW, let's be honest. You'll need to earn a fair amount of this reagent to craft a piece of equipment, more for significant pieces. You also need to use this reagent to construct an optional reagent to bring the equipment up to the heroic raid level. The second type of reagent will come from a series of quests that award you enough to craft one piece of equipment. Additional stages of these quests will become available to everyone every few weeks. So it's time-gated. Time-gated quests for crafting gear, so the crafted gear doesn't immediately outpace the raid gear. Is that a bad thing? I don't know if that's a bad thing or not. Yeah, I think that this is a thing where, like, time gating, like, here's the thing, what happens with WoW. Is it, like, in WoW, as soon as there's, like, a word, like, borrowed power, time gating, you know, like, I'm sure there's a few other ones, but those are the first two that come to my mind. If you can put anything in that category, that thing is automatically bad. Yeah, that is an automatically bad thing, and that's all there is to it. People don't think about it any more or any less. But I'm going to be honest. I think that this is good. Like, I think this is good. And I don't know about the, about how long it's going to take. And like the time gating, I can't tell you whether the time gating is going to be good or not, because I'd have to look and see for myself. You know, I have no idea. I don't have issues with time gating so long as the shit's fucking account wide. Yes. And this is one thing that I think that we should all push for at the start of Dragonflight, is to ask for things to be account wide. If you have to farm the same thing twice, it's not fun. Make it account wide. This is one of the big reasons why I think Lost Ark and Final Fantasy do so well, is that everything is account wide. You can do pretty much whatever the fuck you want. If you have, like, you know, this many Mokoko seeds on your Berserker, you have that many on your Gunslinger as well. That's a great thing. The same with Final Fantasy, but even more so. Final Fantasy has even more of that stuff than fucking Lost Ark does. All are soulbound. Okay, you need to craft them yourself. Okay, we read all that. Okay, good. To upgrade this equipment to around mythic item level, you need to acquire a final reagent that can only be obtained in the highest tiers of content, mythic raids, the highest levels of mythic plus, and any highly rated PvP. We're gonna have to see the way that this plays. Philosophically, the goal of the system is to have professions be a meaningful source of high-end gear, elevating the importance and value of professions. As a crafter, you need to go to significant effort to gain the skill, specialization, and recipes necessary to craft this gear, so it should be worth it. As a user of the gear, you also need to go out and acquire many of the reagents yourself. So both the crafter and the craftee will both need soulbound reagents. Holy shit. The soulbound reagents are designed to provide a means of deterministic incremental progress towards gear of your choice while doing the activities of your choice. In addition, the quest acquired reagent mentioned above will limit how quickly you can acquire high-end gear. This will prevent it from being overwhelming the other sources of gear while giving you the freedom to choose from where and how quickly you want to acquire the other reagents. This is good. Yeah, this is all good. I'm glad about this. All right, fuck yeah. Does anybody actually like crafting in WoW? I think a lot of people enjoyed crafting and things like in vanilla WoW, I thought crafting was really cool. How, like, in some areas you had these places that, you know, people that could craft stuff and other people couldn't. I thought that was great. Yeah, this is a very good thing. More gear only available for 1% of players? No, I think that you can craft this gear at a lower level, but I don't think that a person that's not doing any challenging content at all should not expect to craft mythic gear. Like, if you have that, then there's going to be nobody doing the mythic content. Because why would you do mythic content? Like, here, why? Simple. If you took... Well, it's actually even more simple than that. I think you should get better gear for harder content. That's it. Period. Now, there should be a ceiling to that. And I'm not saying the ceiling needs to be beating Mythic Jailer with, like, you know, no nerfs on the boss. No, I'm not saying that. But I do think that this is a general thing that harder content should give better gear. This is just some crazy, weird idea I cooked up in my head, you know? But yes, I think that's absolutely what should happen. Shouldn't the motivation for doing content be the content itself and not the accessibility, not necessarily the gear? Yeah, so how many people, like, what percentage of the population do you think would quit mythic raiding if you took out the gear? What percentage? At least, in my opinion, 90%. At least. Nobody is going to sit through that shit if they're not going to get the gear. Everyone but World First Raiders, exactly. And it's just too much of a pain in the ass. And so let's see here. Alchemy and Vials and Dragon Isles. Yeah, that's not really that big of a deal. And this is just the start of what we have planned for Professions in Dragonflight. Check back here on the official site as we progress through development. Thanks for reading, and we look forward to hearing from you and your impressions and thoughts. So here's what my impressions and thoughts on this whole thing is. I think this is good. I do. I'm glad that they're trying something different. And I think the most important thing here is the fact that you can put all of these things together and remove luck from the equation. You also want to emphasize that you will never need to rely on luck. This is the sentence that makes the entire rest of this post good. Because I don't want to sit around rolling quality. I already spend one game doing that. I don't want 2 games rolling quality. It's fucking annoying. It's a slot machine, and all it does is it's just a function of removing resources from the economy. It's fucking annoying. Yes, it's Lost Ark. All of the things, and you guys have to admit, I understand there's a lot of people that are skeptical about Dragonflight. And you know what? I'm still one of them. But to an extent, guys, you have to admit, a lot of this stuff is pretty fucking good. This is pretty fucking good. I'm happy about this. I really, really hope that it continues. It's a start. It is. I project that WoW will not be good for at least 2 more expansions. Because they simply cannot make enough changes in the game to make it better in just 1 expansion. You're always positive about the release of the new expansion? That's not true. Whenever Shadowlands was coming out, I told everybody I was excited to play it, but I thought Covenants were fucking stupid. I felt like I was more doom and gloom about Shadowlands than like anybody else.